This episode is chock full of collisions, crazy drivers, road rage, and more than a few questionable actions by our submitters. Ready or not, your Wham Bam weekend starts right now. Watch what happened when Jordan was less than a block away from home. Jordan was planning to turn right shortly after the light, but an oncoming driver cut through traffic and Jordan had no chance to stop in time. His Apple Watch called 911 automatically and the other driver checked on him also. Thankfully, Jordan's repair and replace coverage, which would have expired less than a month after this happened, means his insurance provider will be buying him a brand new vehicle. He's a day one reservation holder for the Cybertruck, but until it's delivered, he'll be enjoying his new Toyota Tacoma. Before this next clip, I just wanted to say that we take no sides when showing you these stories. We just tell you what our submitters told us, and we leave it up to you to decide who was in the right and who was in the wrong. This submitter had bought his VW Atlas Highline brand new just 3 months before this video was taken. Power to the traffic lights was out, and when he approached an intersection, he noticed another vehicle had stopped, so he decided to proceed. The other driver also continued, and our submitter T-boned the car. Police and firefighters responded quickly. The police discovered the other driver had an expired license and gave him a citation. Police and insurance found the Civic driver at fault, and our submitter's vehicle is currently waiting for over $18,000 in damage to get fixed. For now, our submitter is driving a rental car. Watch what happened when Austin was 30 hours into his drive home from college in Arizona. A wild mattress appeared in his lane along with a wild box spring in the rightmost lane. He couldn't dodge right due to traffic, so he moved as far left as he could. Unfortunately, the mattress got stuck under his car after he ran it over. Thankfully, a pickup driver stopped to help Austin remove the mattress before he continued on his journey. Ed watched the driver of a Toyota Tacoma quickly merge into the right lane before rear-ending the car in front of him.
Oh, he hit him.
Thankfully, the collision was minor and there were no injuries. Ben changed lanes to reach an upcoming turn lane, then merged into it. The driver of a car following him got upset that he hadn't let her pass. When she sped up the oncoming lane and tried to pass him, their vehicles made contact. The other driver refused to provide Ben with her license or insurance information, then fled the scene when he called the police. Later, she called his insurance provider and filed a claim, stating that he had caused the accident. She also admitted to having no license. Ben filed a police report with his dashcam footage as evidence, and he's now having the damage to his Toyota Tundra assessed for an insurance claim. Watch what happened when Josh was headed home. A Nissan SUV, which looks nothing like a Prius Josh, suddenly merged across 3 lanes, forcing Josh to take an unplanned exit. Fortunately, he was able to maintain control while avoiding any contact. Here's another time I'll be withholding my personal opinion. Andrew passed a vehicle on a 2-lane road and ended up behind another. That car then slowed down and Andrew honked at them out of frustration. This upset the other driver, who then slowed down even more. Andrew responded by sounding the aftermarket air horn he has installed in his Chevy Impala. Eventually, the other driver sped back up. Andrew decided to pass the Kia, but the driver tried to block him, resulting in their mirrors colliding. When the Kia driver swerved to the right, she lost control and ended up driving into the field alongside the road. Andrew called 911 and waited for the police to arrive, not approaching the other driver. The responding officer cited the Kia driver for attempting to impede traffic, and his insurance provider has told him she'll be found at fault. Andrew is currently waiting for the Kia driver's insurance provider to pay to fix his broken side view mirror. Andrew was taking his mother to a medical appointment and was waiting behind a Nissan at a red light. Slowly, the Nissan began rolling straight even though the light was still red and they were in a right turn lane.
You're supposed to be able to see the bumper. I could not. I feel like it's a habit you have. I can see it. You okay? No. What the heck? He's not okay.
They called 911 to report the accident, but had to continue so Andrew's mother wouldn't miss her appointment. On their way home, they saw police and an ambulance responding to the scene. What do you think happened here? Post your theory in a comment, and don't forget to send in your crazy clips using the link in the description. Gavin was headed to his buddy's house for dinner in his Ram 2500, a truck that weighs around 6,000 pounds. A driver pulled out in front of Gavin, then stopped in the middle of his path. He stood on the brakes and barely avoided smashing into the sedan. Gavin stopped and educated the other driver about how fortunate they all were that Gavin's truck has good brakes. The other driver was very apologetic. This submitter watched an older model pickup dive across lanes and get hit by a black Jeep. Our submitter was running late and the accident was minor, so he didn't stop, but he told us he saw that the drivers weren't injured. Matthew and Melissa were headed around a blind mountain curve when they captured this week's Tesla behaving badly. That Tesla man can't drive. After recovering from the shock, they both immediately agreed that they needed to send their footage to Wham Baam Dashcam. Michelle just moved from Boston to Florida and told us she can't believe how bad the drivers are. She just picked up her daughter from her shift at Publix. When she approached a three-way stop, the driver to her left stopped, but the one behind them just went around them and blew through the stop sign, nearly T-boning Michelle's Explorer. Good thing Michelle was paying attention. She told us that watching our videos has made her more aware of the idiot drivers out there. Thanks, Michelle. James was nearly decapitated when he went to drive past a truck turning into a construction site. He slammed on his brakes the moment he saw the telephone pole, but it was too late, and the pole dented and scratched his Alfa Romeo. James followed the truck into the construction site where construction workers tried to intimidate him. They called the cops, and when officers arrived, James showed them his dashcam video. That's when the site foreman suddenly offered to pay to fix the damage without involving insurance. It cost $9,000 to remove the dent and fix the paint, ceramic coating, and window trim. This submitter had just dropped a friend off at 4 a.m. when he took an icy corner just a little too fast. Our submitter's bumper cover fell off and had some scratches and dents, but he escaped otherwise unscathed. This submitter watched an inattentive driver realize they were in an exit-only lane and dive out of it at the last second. Thankfully, our submitter was paying better attention than that Toyota driver. He was able to swerve into the other lane and continue along. This submitter had just moved his truck so his grandmother could go to her medical appointment, and he put on his hazard lamps as he parked on the street. Watch what happened when his grandma got onto the road. Somehow, she managed to get distracted and hit the back of his F-250. Luckily, the damage to the pickup was minor. Here comes another clip where I won't be weighing in with my own opinion. Dolphinatic was following family members pulling a U-Haul trailer on their way to move to California. A Hyundai Veloster flew up behind him and he accelerated his Toyota Corolla to stay ahead of them. After tailgating him for a while at 100 miles per hour, the Veloster driver passed Dolphinatic on the right, which is legal in the state of California. I checked. Dolphinatic decided to catch up to him and demonstrate how to properly change lanes, being sure to use his turn signals like a good boy. Then it was the Veloster driver's turn to road rage, including brake checking other vehicles. Dolphinatic laid on the horn until the Veloster driver sped off. Later, his family chewed him out for road raging. What do you think? Who was in the right and who was in the wrong? Joseph's wife was driving behind him as he was driving his Toyota pickup. A reckless driver didn't appreciate it when Joseph obeyed the turn lane lines and used an oncoming lane to go around him. Joseph sent a copy of his dashcam video to the police. He's thankful that his wife was nearby with a better dashcam angle than he had. Kate was entering a Virginia highway when she encountered a vehicle stopped in the leftmost lane. With traffic passing on her right, she stopped to wait for an opening and watched the driver step out while on her phone. Kate assumed the lady had stopped due to car trouble, but before Kate could find an opening to go around her, she got back in her car and drove off like nothing had happened. It seems like she'd stopped just to finish her phone call. Check out what happened while this emitter was waiting for traffic to start moving. If you watch carefully, you can see this trailer lost a wheel, but it didn't seem to damage any vehicles as it bounced along. It seems like it didn't want to be left behind.